The gentleman from the 31st District, Representative Stokesbary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While we appreciate some of the changes made by the body across the rotunda, I'm still going to be urging a no vote on this today. Won't rehash all of our reasons. We covered this fairly well when we debated it originally a few months ago. But essentially, we view this as an unsustainable tax on working Washingtonians. When this goes into effect, our constituents will get their first paycheck and see that they now are being taxed on 0.58% of their income. Earlier, we debated a referendum clause to allow our constituents the ability to tell us if they think this is a good idea or not, and that was voted down, and this constituents will then have no recourse. We're also concerned that this is unsustainable. While the benefit is slated to increase at a rate of 3% a year, that assumes that long-term care costs are going to continue to rise at the same rate as the rest of consumer goods. But as we've seen with healthcare over the past several decades, that's probably not going to be the case. Healthcare has risen far faster than other consumer goods, and I don't see why we think that that would be any different for long-term care services, especially when we all recognize that there is going to be a huge increase in demand for those services. So at some point, we're going to find ourselves back here needing to increase that benefit because the $36,000 pegged to inflation, pegged to 3% a year, isn't going to pay for very much of a benefit. And then we're going to have to decide whether we want to let the system go insolvent earlier or raise the payroll tax. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, if I can read very briefly from the Milliman actuarial study on this.
Please continue. And the Speaker would like to remind members we are on the 3-minute rule. You have about a minute left.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Milliman study actually says that while they estimate that the base plan will require a 0.52% payroll surtax, it goes on to say, we estimate an ultimate tax rate of 0.92% to cover program costs once the population receiving benefits has stabilized. So we're entering into this system knowing full well that we haven't actually set the tax rate at a rate sufficient to achieve permanent solvency of this system. Once you consider that the cost of benefits are going to increase far faster than the 3% slated under this bill, it's pretty clear that this is not sustainable. We're going to be back here very soon raising taxes once again on our constituents, and I think this is a poor way to provide a badly needed service. So for those reasons, would urge a no vote today.